I basically built up my confidence to getting on an online dating app, and met a really nice guy on there, and agreed to go on a date. But the closer the date got, the more nervous I got, and I decided to pull the pin and just walk away from it, because I was just really not in the right headspace. And I realized that there was just some things that were just on repeat in my life, some thought processes that I just really wanted to resolve. I had thought, probably foolishly, in the 6 years that I'd spent on my own, that things would just miraculously sort themselves out. And by the time I got to revisit them, that, you know, I'd be over it. But actually, it doesn't work like that. And then we started, which is not what this is not what I expected. You started looking at my belief systems, and the only way I can describe what you do is you kind of start to sort of pull out bits and pieces and sort of drill down to why these beliefs are here. And what has happened, you know, in every session that I've had, these kind of like sort of bombs just sort of go off, where it's like, oh, that makes sense. Where in life have you been over giving? You know, have you been giving too much? That one really just hit me right in this, you know, right in the chest. There's just, and I realized, oh my God, that's actually become quite a survival mechanism for me. You know, due to various issues, presumably from my childhood. And that really resonated today when we were talking, and you were reframing something for me. And again, I'm like just scribbling it all down, because, you know, it's like really valuable stuff, and I don't want to forget it, because it really resonates.
So how do you feel you felt when you came into it, and how are you feeling now? So
just was going round in circles, but I was really just stuck. I just couldn't work out. Couldn't work out what I was doing and why I was doing it. And you know, where I came, like when we first met, I was just like, oh, I wasn't even, I suppose a part of me was not even that hopeful, because I'd been living like that for quite a long time. So, but, you know, it was clear quite early on that you were just able to get to the heart of things. And I love the way that you help me reframe stuff. So I feel now, more, I would say, like a much more quiet confidence and clarity. And I'm not, and it's also just a relief as well, a relief not to, some of those belief systems were really like quite painful. And it's a relief not to have them, you know, running.
That really resonates, actually. I remember that moment where for me it was just like, oh, I don't have to do this anymore. I don't have to be this anymore.
No, I know. Because it's amazing when that happens, when you realize you don't have to do this.
And I guess that's that nervous system running, isn't it? You've been constantly on survival mode, and it's like a piece that you go, oh, right, okay, I can just stop with that now, that constant running, that constant circling around it. Today you were like, oh, and by the way, I'm going out on a date tonight. It's like, oh my God, that's really weird how, like, the first message was like, no, I just didn't want to go on the date. I felt all self-conscious, etc., etc. And then we had the chat yesterday, and you were like, oh yeah, I'm going out on a date tonight. It was like the perfect ending. And we talked about that, didn't we? And said, no matter what happens actually on the date, when you've been through this process, it's not about the date. It's about how you feel coming up to it. And so what was your experience about coming up to it? How was that different from that moment 8 weeks ago when you were like, no, backtrack?
Well, I just think my anxiety that I had been feeling around relationships and starting a new relationship again was just not anywhere near like what it was when we started. So I felt very matter of fact about things. I didn't feel particularly overexcited and giddy and a bit lost and wrapped up in it all, which was I have been like that before. I didn't feel so much like, oh, you know, he's got to choose me, he's got to like me. I didn't feel that. I just thought, well, you know, if he does, he does. If he doesn't, he doesn't. again, you know, I just didn't, I just allowed it to happen,
Oh,
you know,
amazing. Oh, I love
allowed,
that.
yeah.
I feel like,
When,
and my experience as well, when you're in that survival mode and you're looking for something outside of yourself, because
yeah,
there's no danger around it. There's no like pings of obsession or need around it. So you can
no,
just, I love that, just allowed it to
yeah.
happen.
I'm glad that I did this with you, because
Yeah, it's been awesome.
I don't think, no, I've never done anything like this before. I've seen a counsellor before, but I mean, obviously not a counsellor. And so this has been very good. It's been very proactive. Yeah, very.
Done.
But at the same time, a nice blend of,
Yeah,
um, and I know that you don't class yourself as a therapist, I don't think, but you've obviously got skill,
yeah,
those, you've learned
yeah,
those skills.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and that, so it's a nice blend of
yeah,
like the coaching plus
yeah.
a little bit of
Yeah.
delving
Yeah, because
into
it looks back, but then I think that's where most people get stuck, or where a lot of people will come to me and go, you know, I've been in therapy for a number of years, and it's like, because all you
yeah,
keep doing is looking back, so there's no movement, is there? So you just,
no,
it's like you're
but
aware of it,
yeah,
but it's like then what
blend.
to do. And at least we've been, you know, I've been challenging you each week, haven't I, online, which moves
Which is
people.
great, which is
Yeah,
great, but it's a
yeah,
lovely blend of the
yeah,
coaching
yeah,
plus some, you know, therapy style
yeah, yeah,
work.
yeah,
So it goes really well together, and I've really enjoyed that.
yeah.
No, it's been nice. It's just been nice to meet you,
Yeah,
and
it's good to meet
you know,
you.
I'm grateful for the sort of way you are, because it's been very easy
Yeah,
to fit into
yeah,
these sessions work with you.